Let's take a look at an example. Adrian asked 75 instructors whether they prefer teaching face-to-face, online, or hybrid. His results can be found in the incomplete frequency table below. Complete the table. So we have a table here. Most of the values are missing. We do have a couple values. We have a couple values in the frequency. We know face-to-face, there's 42 instructors that said they prefer face-to-face, and 7 instructors that say they prefer hybrid. Okay? We need to finish the table. Now, it doesn't tell us much information up here. It just tells us that the total is 75. So we need to figure out how to complete the table. So let's first focus on this frequency column. Okay? How do we use the fact that there are 75 instructors total to find this missing value in the frequency column? Well, remember that the total for the column must equal the total number of members in the group that is represented by the table, right? Must indicate the total number of data values we have. So since we interviewed 75 instructors, we must have 75 answers. And so our total must be 75 here. So if we add up all the values in this column of the table, we must get 75, okay? We don't have all the values, though. We know this is 42, we know this is 7. So we need to figure out what this is so that the total is 75. In other words, we want 42 plus the mystery value plus 7 to equal to 75. If we could figure out what mystery value here would give us a 75, we'll be set. Okay? So I'm going to pull over the calculator. And I'm just going to take 75 and I'm going to subtract the two values we know, 42 minus 7. If I take out those, what's left should be that missing, the missing category. It should be how many instructors prefer online classes. Okay, so I'm just taking out the 42 and the 7, and I find that there are 26 left. So 26 instructors must prefer online classes. Okay. So 26 goes here. And that way, when you add these up, you're going to get 75. Okay? Similarly, by the way, if we had only some missing values from our relative frequency table, we could use the fact that this total is 1 to be able to find any missing values here. We don't have to worry about that here because now all the values are missing, but we do have the frequencies. Okay? And so we know that the frequency here will be, or the relative frequency here will be the frequency, 42, divided by the total, 75. Okay? Now, most of the time, relative frequency, when we do this in MyOpenMath, you're going to want to represent this in decimal form. That's what it's going to ask you for your final answer. So we're going to throw this into a calculator to find out what we're going to get here. So what was it? 42 divided by 75. And we get 0.56. So this is 0.56. Okay, that's the relative frequency. That's the fraction or percent or proportion that of instructors who we surveyed or who Adrian surveyed that want the class to be face-to-face, that prefers face-to-face classes. So that's 56% of them. Okay. Same thing for the next row for online classes. If we want the relative frequency, we take the frequency, the number of instructors that prefer online classes, and we divide by the total, the 75 instructors that were surveyed. Okay. Again, when putting this into the homework, convert this to decimal form. Okay, so that's 26 over 75. So get that latest value, and it's 0.3466667. Okay, 0.3466667. And one more, hybrid. There are 7 instructors total that prefer hybrid courses. And so the relative frequency will be those 7 instructors divided by the 75 total. Pull out the calculator for one last time. 7 over 75 gives us 0.09333333. 0.9333333. Okay, so, oh, and you got to be very careful here. I've actually made a mistake, and it's an easy one to make, so be careful. Notice I put 0.93, but it should actually be 0.093, right? I missed that 0. So be careful when writing these that you don't make that mistake. Okay, so I'm actually going to erase that. Actually, I'll just erase this 0 too. 0.093333. Okay, now it's correct. Okay, so that means just mentally converting to percents. 56% of the instructors surveyed prefer face-to-face. About 34.66% of instructors prefer online, and about 9.33% of instructors prefer hybrid.